All right, everybody, welcome back to the 2021 Frostbite Open, brought to you by Auburn Opelika Tourism. We've got the final 11 holes of this first round. Felix, Vega with Run Productions coming to you here, along with MVP team captain Mr. Matt Dollar.
What's up, Felix? Glad to be back for round one, part two.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are putting on a bit of a show here. We've got a race at the top. We've got our leaderboard popping up here. You can see Jared Hendersen, Mark Poole, and Jacob Chester really locked in. And Jared Neal, you don't want to count him out. He's got such big distance. He can make a move at any moment.
Yeah, Jared Neal's a returning champion from this event, so you got to keep an eye out for him, even if he is a few back right now.
Yeah, so we're going to start off the action here on hole 11, and this is one of the newer holes on this course.
Yeah, so the next three holes are the newest holes in the course. I'm not sure if they'll actually be here forever, but right now you've got three very tight holes. Yeah,
this one is one that's... I know when I was talking to one of the locals, they said that they couldn't take down any trees bigger than the size of a fist, which explains why there's so many trees in this fairway.
Right, yeah, you're not going to see anyone throw a righty backhand with confidence here.
Yeah.
It really only sets up for a forehand or a thumber if you're approaching it right-handed. So I'm really not sure what the intended righty backhand play would be unless it's to just finish like way left of the pin.
Yeah, I mean, if you try to take something kind of super flippy and have it stand up late, like those early trees just kind of kill those dreams right away.
Yeah, you see Mark Poole's throwing a forehand here, so
yeah, that tells you what the
probably
play is.
Yeah, really tough backhand.
And he gets through. That's a really good shot.
Yeah, pretty nice. It got off the fairway there a little bit, but held its line, flexed back to the fairway. Gonna give him a look.
Get out of here with the shot.
Wow, that is super impressive.
Wow.
Is that a Warden again?
That was a Warden, yeah, but that's one of his beat-in softer Wardens.
Just an absolutely beautiful shot.
Jacob pitching up with the forehand. Yeah, that's the cleanest line I've seen on this hole.
We didn't really see anyone get too far off the fairway on the tee shot, but with all these trees being in the fairway, if you hit one of them and kick off hard right or left, it's almost impossible to get up and down on this one.
Yeah, it's immediate trouble, and because it's kind of a newer hole, those scramble lines, so to say, aren't really there.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and also it's kind of at a low-lying area, so it's pretty swampy, so you're gonna have bad footing too, most likely.
Yeah, really good birdie there we just saw from Mark Poole. So he continues on the heater from the front half of this course. He's carrying right over, starting it off with a birdie.
Yeah, takes advantage of a friendly little line into those trees and makes a good putt and snags yet another birdie. Jared Neal stealing a CTP, it looks like.
Yeah, I wonder if that one held up. Oh, no, I think somebody ended up acing this later on in the tournament, yeah. Don't know what the shot was, but I remember we came back the second round and someone had put the marker on the actual basket.
Had to be forehand.
Yeah. So hole 12, another one of these tight technical holes, and another one where I don't really know necessarily what the line is.
Yeah, I think honestly, for a righty, you need to throw kind of an understable disc on a forehand and have it just slowly stand up, barely miss the tree on the left here, and then punch through this gap, hopefully with a skip to get you to the base of the hill.
That's some insight right there, because most people, when you think forehand, they're like, oh, it's got to be stable. But you're talking about taking something more flippy and standing it up late.
Yes. That way you're able to start it on a hyzer, and it'll kind of just push forward while still holding a hyzer shape.
Thank you.
And you see Mark again working magic with one of those comets.
That is a beautiful shot. I don't think I saw anyone throw a backhand on this hole except for me in the 2 rounds I played on Sunday.
Looks like Jared's lining up the backhand with that lucid Warden again, and he's got it moving in the right direction. Whoa! Right under the pin came in.
Yeah, Jared is throwing some heat seekers through these very, very tight lines.
And we've got...
I don't know if it was just how excellent of a shot it was or how good you guys do with the camera work, but that looked way too easy.
He's making it look easy, man. And we've got Jared Henderson. These guys are really filleting this hole, man. Like, this is impressive.
Yeah, I'm kind of... My jaw is dropped, honestly. Like, this hole is really hard.
Yeah. Jacob. See, that's what you expect kind of more on that forehand, is if you push it too far left, you just get knocked down.
That left side comes up, the end of the left side fairway comes up really quick on that forehand.
Yeah. A nice little zone up shot there, so minimizes the damage there.
Yeah, I do like the green on this hole. It makes for some tricky putting, usually uphill if you're short of the pin.
Really nice birdie there for Jared Neal.
Yeah, Jared's making a second half comeback now.
Yeah, going birdie on these two holes is not an easy feat. We've got Jared Henderson, so they kept calling each other Big Jared, Little Jared.
Oh goodness! I hope Jared Neal was being Little Jared.
Nah, he took the Big Jared. And 3 birdies on that. That's pretty crazy to see.
Yeah, that's great shooting from these guys.
Alright, and again, a big thank you to Infinite Disc for being a supporting sponsor of this event. So we take it to hole number 13, the last of this new hole stretch.
Yeah, I would say this is the most straightforward of the new 3 holes. You're just trying to throw your putter. I would say stable putter on a righty backhand. Trying to keep it to the right here and let it just fade. There's plenty of places to kind of skirt through if you miss a little left or a little right. So this is definitely the easiest of the 3 new holes.
Yeah, without a doubt. The only thing that can maybe block you up is there's a down log that can kind of stop you from sliding up. You see it there if you come in a little lower early, but for these guys it shouldn't be an issue. Lucid Warden one more time. And looks like he's gonna be left feet or left of it. But he's about pin high.
There was some high. Yeah, that's some high entertainment value on that shot.
Just a little early release there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to play a little bit of a Anheuser turnover style shot, and it just kind of went dead straight for him.
Yeah. And that one sneaks through.
Yeah, that must have been one of those zones. It was a very, very overstable flight because he laid a lot of Anheuser on his release, and it still came right out.
Yeah. And that's a... Sheesh. Nice run there.
Just flashed the pin, almost made it.
Mark laying up here. Yeah, this is pretty much a... If it's not a 2, it's a 3 usually. There's not a ton of trouble, so to say, like you were talking about, to get into, and you can kind of find your way up and down even if you're off the fairway.
A good putt from Jared.
Absolutely. Another good putt there for Jacob. These guys are not taking their foot off the pedal here. I'm guessing you went with your envy on this shot?
I did. I went with the overstable Cosmic Neutron Envy with the Landon Brooks Team Series stamp.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was a pretty good one. I got the birdie one of the 2 rounds.
All right. right, so we've got a tie at second right now between Mark Poole and Jacob Chester. Jared Henderson just one stroke up, and we see Jared Neal starting to come into the mix here. He's 3 down. That takes us to hole 14, uphill, 240. What do you got on this one, Matt?
This is a very tricky angle, so I like to throw a backhand anhyzer on a stiff anhyzer with something overstable. I went with that same Cosmic Neutron Envy. You'll see a lot of guys try to throw a sidearm. It's kind of tricky because you have to really get turning right quickly, like as soon as you get out of the gap. So the sidearms you'll see almost never get back far enough to the right. So if you want to get all the way to the right and get to the pin, you kind of need to go with some kind of anhyzer if you're right-handed.
Yeah, Jared taking the anhyzer approach, but he has not turned that one over enough, and he sailed it probably 70 feet past the basket.
Yeah, you can't really throw a turnover on this hole. You have to throw a straight-up anhyzer. You have to release it on the anhyzer angle.
Yeah.
It can't ever go straight before turning right if it's going to get all the way to the pin.
Yeah, it really is a tricky shot because you've got so many different angles that you're dealing with. You're going uphill, you want something turning, and then it's just gravity kind of wants to take it left where you want it to go right.
Yeah, if you stand where Conrad is doing catch cam and look back at the hole, it looks super simple and easy. Mm-hmm. But the angle is very deceiving.
Yeah. And Jared going with a force on the forehand here. And that's what you're talking about. It just never got right enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to throw that shot, this is another one of those spots where you actually would be better off throwing a little less stable disc so that you can throw it with more hyzer and it'll try to stand up, therefore moving faster to the right.
That was a good bit there by Jared Neal, just shy on the left-hand side.
Yeah, he was trying to ride that wave and just continue to pour them in,
Yeah.
and he almost did.
A little bit of a head scratcher there for Jared Henderson. He's got this comeback look. Just pushed it right.
That's a tough one. Little Jared's looked a little off the last couple holes.
Yeah, he's he probably feels the pressure, man. These other two are putting pressure on him. Jared Neal's starting to heat up. It's again, we talked about in the first video that we filmed him last year at an NADGT event, and he's playing open this year. So maybe this is the first time he's kind of in the lead. He's kind of feeling that pressure.
Sometimes I think that it's pretty easy in the first half of a round, just like a lot of times you'll think it's pretty easy in the first half of a tournament because you're just getting that momentum going. You haven't established anything to have expectations on, and once you develop those expectations, everything feels a little different.
Yeah. All right, so hole 15 is a tight tunnel all the way down. Only 205 and it's downhill, but this is a hard one to get.
I'm really not sure what you want to do on this hole. I've went with something different almost every time I've played it. It's another hole on this course that doesn't really set up to where you can throw a righty backhand to the pin. And every other time I've said that, Jared Neal's done a righty backhand to the pin. So hopefully he'll do it here as well.
Yeah.
You're going to see forehand mostly here, though, because once again the fairway kind of shapes moving right to left before you need to come back to the right again.
That's pretty ideal right there.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. He made it look really easy. I didn't see anyone get inside circle one either round on Sunday.
Yeah, he was going with the zone there. A little bit of a humble brag. I threw the exact same shot he just threw and put myself about 18 feet to the right of the pin.
Did you make the birdie?
I did make the birdie.
Yes, nice. It's a great birdie.
Yeah, that's a bad kick there. And Jared Neal went with the forehand, so there you go.
There's actually another forehand gap if you stand on the very right side of the tee pad. You can throw around these trees that are kind of look like they're defining the right side of the fairway. Really,
yes,
they're kind of defining the middle.
Yeah, Mark kind of went that route. And I did see a couple other people kind of trying to sneak through there, but it's still by no means easy.
Yeah, I think it's a local route. You'd see the local forehanders play that one.
Dynamic Discs Iron City, home of Alabama's largest selection in disc golf. Although they have dynamic discs in their name, they've got every manufacturer you'll need for your game. So whether you're looking for new or used discs and all of your disc golf accessories, head on over to Dynamic Discs Iron City.
All right, again, a big thank you to Dynamic Discs Iron City. Jared's got this look here. Whoa.
Jared's putter is heating up.
Yeah, he is feeling that new putter for sure. Mark trying to get up and down and save it here. And he does.
You definitely don't want to take a bogey on a 205-foot hole.
God, it hurts so much, but it's so easy to do on this hole.
Especially when you have a great round going like Mark does.
Yeah. Jacob here just filleting this hole with an easy birdie. And somebody pinned it, obviously, because you can see where the CTP is.
Yeah, I hope their shot looked as clean and pure as Jacob's and wasn't some swirly-whirly backdoor route.
All right, so with that, we see Jacob now taking the lead, and we've got 8, 7, and 6 down, and 3 down for Jared Neal. So. And of course, a big thank you to the tourism group here for sponsoring this coverage here. So we're moving on to hole 16. Another tough one, man. This back stretch, there's a lot of tough holes out here.
Yeah, basically from here until the very last hole, we have a stretch of very tough ones. And that's when you've got to pop up a backhand dead straight and kind of have it never fade out to the left if you want to be close to the pin here. Or the ideal shot would be to fillet a forehand, not necessarily a big flex shot, but something that stands up from flat, or stands up and goes to flat, and then doesn't fade until the very end of the shot.
Yeah, you can't be left or right. Like these trees, once you get into this stuff, it's so hard to get back out.
I honestly think the way to play this hole is to kind of just forget that the pin is tucked off to the right side there and pretend it's in the dead center.
Mm-hmm.
If you pretend the pin is in the dead center of this fairway, it just makes the hole seem a lot easier, because that's really what you're trying to do, is just throw it out there into the center of this gap, and then you have, inside the circle putt.
Yeah, I don't know if this was a comment again from Mark, but that whatever it is, it turned over on him. And he got a really friendly kick.
It's a little long for a comment, I think, for Mark. I think he was probably playing something a little faster.
Yeah. And Jared's throwing a putter because he's Jared Neal.
That's about right.
And he gets a good kick out as well. Let's see if Jared here can kind of get it going back in the right direction.
Yeah, little Jared could use a birdie to catch back up here.
Yeah,
and that's a beautiful shot. It really got destroyed upon landing. I don't really know what happened.
Yeah, it just kind of got eaten up.
Yeah, there's a bunch of leaves on the ground, but it also looked like maybe it hit like one of the roots or a little ditch or something.
Yeah. Friendly kick right back to the basket there for Mr. Poole. And you can see just the trouble you can get into. I think the right side is even more punishing than the left side. The left side kind of opens up a little bit.
Yeah, if you go in early on the right side, it's probably going to be a bogey at best.
Yeah. Jared with the long look. A little short, little left the whole way.
It's kind of a tough bid from where he had it, because if you get it high enough to give it a chance to go in and you miss the basket, you're going to be putting around some trees coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob here trying to save the par. Oh, just a touch low.
Some of the greens on this course are extremely tight.
Yeah. I think par is predominantly what you're going to see on this hole. Like to birdie it takes, like we were talking about, just a really, really well executed shot on either the forehand or the backhand.
Definitely not an easy hole to get the birdie, and way easier to get the bogey. So I think a par is just fine.
Yeah. Alright, so that drops Jacob back to the field a little bit here, and you can see we've got a two-way race right now, and Jared is right behind him at 1 stroke. Jared Neal just 3 behind, a couple strokes off as well. Hole 17, 320 feet, par 3.
Has a little bit of a similar feel as hole 16, except you need to finish further right at the end.
Yeah.
They do have another pin placement further into the left a little bit on this hole. It's extremely difficult. However, in this position, you're going to see people try and throw a forehand because it does set up to where you can fade off to the right. However, if you have a good righty backhand, it is a nice hyzer flip with a mid-range or short fairway.
So just throw the Comet like Mark just did.
Throw the Comet like Mark did for sure.
And Jared Neal, yellow disc in hand. That is that Warden once again.
That disc is kind of stable at the end of its flight. I'm surprised he threw it here, but then again, he has a lot of power.
Holy cow.
Still had so much spin on the ground. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. This looks pretty good as long as it makes that turn. Oh, wow, he got a real big reaction off the ground there.
Yeah, that's that Ric Flair. Woo!
You can see he's parked the long position, which is further right.
Yeah, it's tough to get that far to the right there.
Well, now he knows the shot for that pin placement.
This looks a little tight.
Yeah, and he didn't quite make the turn there. Finished inside.
Yeah, from the tee, it doesn't look like the tree line on the right side pushes as far down as it does. It kind of looks like if you make that original gap and your disc is finishing to the right, you're going to have a putt. But it really gets caught up there unless you get all the way out before fading.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky. While we were droning, we played a quick practice round with a couple of discs, and I thought I pured the forehand line. And I'm like, oh, I'm still short and inside the tree line. Like, I didn't think it extended that far out like you were talking about. Good birdie there from Mark.
Yeah, if you can put a Comet in that guy's hand on every tee pad, he's going to do real good.
Nice par save there. Jared with the easy birdie.
Mark's going to slide into the lead there, I believe, right?
I believe so. Yep, he's got it by a stroke now, coming down the stretch. We've got hole 18, another 300-footer, 312 feet. A little bit more of a tight line, though, but there's some options here off the tee.
Definitely a couple options here. You're going to see people play a righty flex shot down the right side, or you're going to see them start with something a little less stable down the left side of the fairway and just try and turn and hold a straight turning flight. 312 feet, but doesn't play that far. A lot of times when you're trying to punch out of a gap tight like this, people have a tendency to throw it a little extra hard, and easy to go deep on this hole and maybe not have a putt once you get into that wood line.
Yeah, it still requires finesse. And another Comet thrown to perfection.
That's amazing.
Here, I want to use some nuts on that one.
I feel like the left side fairway, the left side gap requires finesse, and the brute force player is going to like the right side trying to throw that flex line.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jared, again, was going with that lucid Warden, but he got the horrendous kick into the woods on the right.
It's not going to be easy to get up and down from there.
An early hit there for little Jared. See if Jacob can keep pace here. He's going up the left side.
That's an envision mine.
It's not too bad.
That's a great shot.
Yeah.
That's a great shot to the long right position there, which plays up on top of that hillside.
Mm-hmm. He'll have a long comeback look at it though, but got through clean. And Jared going with the roller. Not a bad result there. He's going to have a chance to save this par.
Gonna have some weird footing though. Surprised his disc caught up right there on that hillside.
Yeah. Oh, I thought Jared was way deeper in than that.
Yeah, I kind of thought he was too. And he's probably the only person at this event who could see the basket from that side of the hill.
Yeah. Ah, it just leaves it a little low there for the par. Jacob. Oh, man, just splashed right.
He knows he was close there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, go ahead and knock it out.
He also knows that he's going to give another one away to Mark right here because Mark threw his comment right up by the pin again.
Oh, yeah. Good hit there from Jared. Neal coming back.
Yeah, if you're not making your comebackers from that range, it can be a tough day because Jared likes to run from everywhere, so he has lots of little comebackers like that.
Yeah. Tough bogey there for Jared Henderson, but still got a whole nother round after this, too. Alright, so you can see Jared's falling back a little bit here. He's at 5 down, where Mark picks up another stroke, and he's now 2 clear of the lead. So we go on to hole 19, a 500-foot bomber, par 3.
Yeah, just an absolute crusher hole. Wide open fairway, plays uphill, and then back downhill a little bit at the end. You are able to see where the pin is from the tee pad because of this flagpole. And you're not going to see people reach this hole very often, but we have at least one guy in the group who's got a good chance, the distance monster himself.
Yeah. And Mark is out here playing golf. Like, that is a beautiful golf shot.
I love watching Mark play. Like, he didn't try to throw that hard. He just smoothed it out. Every one of his shots, it never looks like he tries to throw it hard.
Yeah. So, Jared really getting worked by the spectator here out of nowhere. But he's like, he caught him out of the corner of his eye, and he's like, I knew he was there, but it didn't affect my throw.
That's a great shot.
It is. He's way down there. And we haven't seen the last of this little guy. There he goes. He's taking one of the tee flags, and he's off. He's a flag taker.
Somebody give that kid a mini.
Yeah. And he's loving life. He's got his flag. He's got all he needs.
He's going to go up and be a spotter.
Yeah. All right, so we got Jake up here lining one up. Yeah, this is such, like you were talking about, like it's such a bomber. You can't call it a par 4 because it's 500 feet, but it's so open. But to get the birdie here just takes elite power.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool if they could cut out a little section of the trees past where the pin is, maybe 15 or 20 feet wide, and then just 20 or 30 feet deep in there. It would be a par 4. Right now, it is totally a tweener. Wow, that was a smash.
Jared just went deep on that hole. He went into the woods.
So both Jareds have massive power.
Yeah. And little Jared's not sponsored. MVP team captain Matt Dollar, just putting that out there.
Wow, guy's got a cannon.
Oh my god.
Every time I've been putting from the woods on this hole, it's always my 3rd or 4th shot.
Right? It's so easy, well, for me anyway, it's easy to overthrow the approach because you forget that it's 500 feet, and you're like, all right, I took a good chunk off. But when you get up there, there's something deceptive about how far the basket looks when you're taking your upshot. It just seems like it's further than it is on your second shot.
And anything that has too much speed at all just runs right down into the woods.
Yeah.
It's a quick little green.
There you go. And this is typically what you're going to see. I'm willing to bet the average on this hole is probably like at 3 even.
Yeah, not a ton of bogey. I would say it's probably a little bit over because it probably didn't give up any twos.
Yeah.
If it did, maybe just one or two.
Yeah, very fair. Yeah, you're more likely to get the bogey if you go long. All right, so staying put here. Mark still with that 2-stroke lead.
Big clear the water energy. Big new disc energy?
So whether you just chucked your favorite disc in the water or looking for a little wisdom on what needs to be the next staple in your bag, head on over to Dynamic Discs Iron City for your one-stop shop for all of your disc golf needs.
Big Dynamic Discs Iron City energy.
All right, big thank you to Dynamic Disc Iron City. If you're in the area, check them out for sure. All right, so hole 20, we've got another bit of a long one, 400 feet at par 3, and this one is tricky.
Yeah, this one definitely scores like a par 4 or even higher because everything to the left is out of bounds, and once you get up there near the pin, there's out of bounds on the right side as well. It's almost always windy. There's also people using walking, so it's just, there's a lot of different factors here. You're going to see some people attack the pin, but most of the time you're going to see people just throw a safer shot over to the right side to try and land on that hillside and kind of make it a 2-shot hole.
Yeah, and then these fluffy trees just kind of come into play. You see Mark just got caught up in it, and it can sneak up on you fast.
It's what makes this hole so difficult is it's hard to just lay up because if you throw any kind of right-hand shot, you don't want it to fade because anything that goes down the hill goes out of bounds, and anything that continues to turn up to the right messes with those trees, or if it turns too much and it's low, it hits and cut rolls on that hill. So it's really difficult layup shot unless you just throw a sidearm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and Jared,
And this is
gonna be close.
Yeah, that's just like an instant re-tee unless you get really lucky.
Yeah, so that was OB the entire way, so he will be re-teeing.
It's tough. I used to always play this hole safe, but I took a 4 at least once or twice playing it safe.
Yeah.
And so I finally decided from now on I was just going to throw a roller and make sure I turned it. I was going to basically play out of bounds the entire way and then just make sure it cut across in bounds. And even if it goes OB to the right, you still crossed up there.
Yeah.
So at least there's some upside to it. And in the first round on Sunday, I threw my insanity on a roller out of bounds the entire way and then came back in and circled the pin.
Oh, wow. So you can see these guys that's Jacob's 4th? Yeah.
It's tough because even though he's having a tough hole, you can't really run it. You can't run that putt because if you miss, you're going out of bounds. It's easy to add up strokes on a hole that has a green this tight.
Oh, yeah. You can turn it into a triple bogey real quick if you go OB there.
That would be pretty cool.
I have seen someone get on the other side of those trees, and it is almost impossible to get back out into the pin.
Oh, man.
Tough reaction off the nubs there.
Yeah. That's a good par save from where he was, having to be scrunched up under those bushes.
Yeah, and a little bit of a tester putt. He needed that one for sure.
Yeah.
Mark just looks so casual making those.
Yeah, he's just feeling no pressure. He's playing a stress-free round. He's, 9 down, I think, still.
I will never turn that down.
Yeah, chance of shooting double digits is really good out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the closing hole. You're going to see hole 21. As long as you don't do anything too crazy, you should be able to get up and down and get a birdie here. So it's par 3 at 260.
Yeah, after playing a whole bunch of hard holes in a row, you get a little bit of a break here at the end. You want to punch something straight, something a little bit stable so that you don't go too straight and go into the woods there. It's basically just a little bit of an upshot.
Yeah.
I mean, not a very hard hole at all. You can play something stable to the right and dump it, or you can just throw a putter straight at it. This is one you definitely want to get to close out your round.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you go putter or mid on this one?
I went putter. I think I went putter the first round, and then I went mid the second round.
Okay.
Because the putter kind of leaked a little bit to the right, so the second round, I just went ahead and went with the pyro on a flex line.
Oh, the pyro's so good.
It's a great disc.
Get left.
And Mark's smoothing it out there. You have a little bit of meat on that bone, but he's been making everything in sight.
Yeah, that's definitely in Mark's wheelhouse. I think the way he's putting today, he's going to nail that one down.
Very nice shot there by Jared Neal. I'm sorry, by Jared Hendersen.
You can see that the green here is deceptively quick. There's not much grass. There's a little bit of pine straw, and everything that lands there skips and slides a good 20 or 30 feet. Until that one.
Until I was gonna say. Yeah.
Well, you can see there's actually grass back there where he hit.
Yeah.
But once you get right around the pin, you can tell that a lot of people practice putt there probably.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of traffic right around the pin, so it's really fast right there.
And that's more of the reaction that we saw in the other shots there.
Yeah.
All right, see if Mark can get to double digits here. Yes, he can.
Yeah, that smells like a leader right there, 10 under.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can ask for. Get to double digits on this heading into the second and final round.
We got a little flex from Mark there too. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's feeling it. Jared Neal with a much stronger back half of this course than the front half. He definitely picked it up in the latter stages of this round.
He did have a struggle to start. He putted really well this whole round. He didn't make all of his putts, but he made a lot of good ones, and he put a lot of good runs on some really hard putts.
Yeah. A little bit of lapse there. Concentration probably just left it low. Just almost look like it fell out of his
there's
hand.
also, I think there's a lot of commotion going on in the background there, and
Yeah.
you know, just feeling that pressure. Things slipped away a little bit for him there, but you can tell the guy's got a lot of skills, so I'm sure
yeah.
we'll see more of him.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're basically right by Tournament Central. Everybody's finishing up their round and kind of walking up and down that walkway.
That was a roller coaster.
So there you have it. So Mark pulling away here, like we said, 10 down to finish out the first round here. 4-stroke lead on the field.
It's a pretty solid first round. 10 under is definitely making a move out here, and he's put himself in great position.
Absolutely. So we'll see if he can just hold on here in the second and final round. But there you go, round one from the Frostbite Open 2021 edition. Big thank you, Matt Dollar, for joining us for this one, buddy.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for putting out some awesome content.
Thank you so much. If you haven't done so yet, please go ahead and subscribe. We will be out there all over the U.S. this year bringing you some awesome disc golf content. But stay tuned for the second and final round of the 2021 Frostbite Open coming your way on Run Productions.